There are 14 senior women in our caravan to Quartzsite, Arizona for the big Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, a huge gathering in the desert in a little town called Quartzsite, Arizona. Along the way, one of the women in our group had a harrowing experience. It really was very dangerous, but we've all learned a lot of good lessons from this to keep us safer in the future. Here's Dory and Beth telling their unedited story.
I had a flat tire on my trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, I have a dual axle trailer and only one of them blew, so I didn't tip over.
It was more than just a flat. She murdered her tire.
Oh,
Yes.
man, it exploded.
Yeah.
It did.
I wonder if that's because you didn't know it and you had been driving with it. You think that might be why it is
Yes,
so
a little
crazy
bit.
looking? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good to know.
At the end, I'll tell you what the police officer said.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks.
But anyway, I had these, I'd been there for a while, and then this couple of gentlemen pulled over in front of me to help, and they looked like a father and son. They looked, they were nice looking, clean cut. They looked like they were gonna help.
Good guys.
Yeah, so they came back and asked if I needed help, and I said, yeah, I can't get the trailer to jack up, and I can't get the spare tire off the back. So while one of them was getting the spare tire off the back of the trailer, apparently the other one these two guys.
These are the not just suspects.
These are the perpetrators.
These are the perps right there
Yeah.
on side of the road. Did you
So-
get their tag too for the cops?
Yes.
Good for you.
Yeah, they got it out of the picture.
Yeah.
I could, but they had the equipment to do that.
All right.
But anyway, while one was helping me with the tire, the other one was robbing me. I had a box of power tools. It's fairly large. It's about that big, and it had one of those big batteries that you could change the things out. It had a sander and a screwdriver and a saw and lots of little things, dustbuster. All those things could attach to the battery, and they took off with it. And then I discovered last night when I was getting into the campground that they had also taken my backup camera off the back of my trailer.
Did they have to have the rest of the system or just the...
Well, the camera part is the expensive part.
Yeah.
You can get the part that goes into your car, pretty cheaply, or you can just use a smartphone. Yeah, I used my smartphone.
Yeah.
So, that's the expensive part, and that's what they took. And then it took. They went away because we couldn't get it. We couldn't find a way to jack the trailer up, and I thought that was the only reason they were leaving. But we called I called the insurance company, Good Sam's, and they said they don't have jacks in these kinds of trailers because the only way to jack it up is to have a heavy-duty hydraulic jack, and if they put one of those into the camper, no one would be able to pull it. It would be too heavy. So, and besides that, you have to know how to use them and whatever. So anyway, then fortunately my friend here pulled over, found me, and waited with me the whole 6 hours before they came.
Thank you, Beth.
Yes.
Well,
no kidding.
that's the value of being a dinker. I was just kind of putzing around yesterday, and I had a great day, and I was trying to hurry to make the live because I also traveled with 2 dogs, and I wanted them to have their big debut. But
We'll do it again.
I was driving, and I saw a camper pulled over, and my first thought was, oh, I hate that. Every time I see a camper, my heart just drops. And I thought, oh no, I recognize that camper. So I went up to the next exit, and I came back and police, if you're watching this, close your ears. I used the emergency turnaround thing and I zipped around.
Well, it was an emergency now. Come on. It was.
And sure enough, it was Dory.
Yeah. Thank you.
And we called the Roadside Assistants. I had been talking to them. They were, oh yes, we're taking care of it. We're consulting with people to try to find help for you. Nothing came. Nobody came. They weren't calling me back. They were sending me text messages saying we're working on it.
Oh.
Every couple of hours they'd send me one of these, and I would call and say, where are we in this? And they would say, look, we put the word out, but nobody is responding to. There's nobody out there in that area that can come and help you. We're still working. And this went on and on and on and on.
Did they ask you if you were in a safe situation like most of them do ask?
Yes, they did.
And did you tell them you were not?
I said, well, sort of.
No, I really think probably next time you will say
Yes.
that I am in a dangerous situation. I'm a senior woman on the road. Yes, I'm in a dangerous situation.
Yeah, that we learned some
We
things.
are. I never thought of telling people that. So yeah.
And as it got dark, we also learned some more things. We didn't have any lights until she remembered her bedside lamp.
Okay.
So we had at least this little tiny thing to put out on the road. And Ramona has these wonderful
Hi,
little
Ramona.
what do you call those things?
They're little, it's that set, Janet. I think we've shown it in previous things, but it takes up only about that much space.
Yes.
About 5 or 6 of them. They're these little round magnetic things that.
And they flash.
Yeah, they flash a lot. They have
We should
several
show them
sets.
sometime.
Yeah, we will.
Yes.
Okay,
I will
good.
be getting those.
So when did Ramona come along now?
Well, she just showed me in the morning
Okay.
when I was waiting on the police to come.
Right.
Still waiting. But anyway, so like I said, it had been dark for a couple of hours, and we were getting
Aw.
scared because there's no light out there, and they couldn't see us. It was black dark.
She was scared. I was mad.
Yeah, that's a good alternative feeling to have.
So
is
she was the
mad.
good cop and I was the bad cop.
Okay.
So I was on the phone pleading, and she said, she talked to the
Give me that thing.
to the guy and reamed them out and said,
Good
this
for
is
you.
wrong, this is awful, you guys are putting us in danger, and
You
better
are
get some gadget right now."
responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
This is really bad
liable.
customer service. I said, and we're traveling with a group of ladies that's 8,300 strong, and we will blast them and let them know what Good Sam did to this woman, because it was.
You should have
absolutely
used the
wrong.
number almost 50,000 for my channel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
if you
next
have those
time use 50,000. We're getting there.
50,000.
Yeah,
something
close,
like that.
close.
Well, she was going on about, we're going to hold you responsible if anything happens, and I was like, yay.
And
Yeah.
I did tell them, to your point, Janet, that we weren't safe.
Yes.
They said, "Are you safe?" I said, "No, we are not.
Yeah.
It's dark. On the side of the road, there are semi trucks just
Oh,
buzzing by us,
Yeah.
Making
and her
her-
trailer was like, woof,
Yeah.
every time it went by. So,
Yeah.
And did you tell them about what had already happened?
oh yes.
The police, you mean about the
We got
robbery?
robbed,
Yeah.
I got robbed, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and I found other things since then. As I know to look, I have found that they really cleaned me out of a lot of things
Really?
that I hadn't. I mean, I only noticed the obvious things, or the
Uh-huh.
things that I went to use and didn't have
Mm.
until the police talked to me this morning. But anyway, they as soon as she got on the phone and made her rant,
Yes. Good for
20
you.
minutes later, we had people there taking care of us,
All right.
and they were fantastic. Tango and Alpha Tango.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ever in Fort Stockton, they are the best. Really and truly wonderful.
That's the
guys.
company name for that came and rescued you.
Yes,
then Alpha
they have
Tango.
Roadside Assistants, but they also have a tire shop and things like that. And they figured out how to change the tire rather than putting it on a flatbed, because the only other option was to get a big tow truck guy.
And that would
would've
be
cost me,
hours
like,
more.
Hours more, and cost me like almost $500
Mm-hmm.
because the insurance company wasn't going to cover that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they figured out how to get it changed so I could get to the campground. They took the rim that was screwed up with them before their shop opened this morning. They went in and fixed the rim
Oh, wow.
so that I didn't have to buy a new rim, and got tires for me and put it on there and balanced it and all that, and came out to the campground to change it for me. They took my spare off, put it back on the back of the trailer, and put the new tire with the old rim back onto the camper. They are amazing people.
Say their name again. Those are the good guys.
Yes. It's Alpha Tango.
And are they a small company, or are they nationwide? Are they just there in Fort Stockton?
It's just
Fort
a
Stockton.
little group of guys that got together, and
Oh.
and they said if it was our grandma, we wouldn't want them. We wouldn't want, them to be in your position. So
Yeah.
as soon as we heard what was going on, we were right out there.
Oh,
They
right.
They
were
were
too.
really angry this morning on your behalf.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
were really
Good.
upset. They said that every time something like that happens, it just infuriates them because it gives all of them a bad name.
Right.
That's true.
Since she was leaving, the police showed up,
Yeah.
and they told me that the reason I made a little video of all the tire bits and pieces that were in that area where we stopped, and they said that there is a team of guys that is working that area on the interstate.
On I-10.
Yes. Remember when you found
Was
that
that
little
still
piece
Texas?
Yes.
Okay.
You found that little piece of wood and it had that great big nail
Spike
in it? That's what they said they do. They put those kinds of things out on the road, and people come by. They watch from the overpass. Apparently, I went farther than most people because I wrecked the whole rim and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But, they blow a tire, they pull over, and they come to help and rip people off.
Mm.
And he said I was really, really lucky that I had somebody with me,
Yes.
and that I didn't lose more, because if I didn't have everything else locked up tight and have my gun with me and my knife and all that stuff, he said it has been much worse for ladies like me on the road. I just thank God that you came along.
Well, it's the power of the caravan. It's the power of the butterfly. It's really, in groups. It's so good.
Yeah.
It really is.
Janet, this is a good time to remind. I know in cities, the police have often advised women or anyone that when you have a flat or you are pulling over, to stay in your car with it locked, even if someone comes to help you, because there are bruises in cities just like there are. So it happens, I would say it happens more often to people who live in cities than
Yes.
people like us. But what they recommend is, even if someone comes up, you've already called 911, you have 911 on the phone telling them where you are, what's happening, and you tell whoever has stopped, like, no, the police are on their way, I'm good. And don't get out of your car.
So you don't want to accept a Good Samaritan?
No, it's just, as sad as it is,
Yeah.
we just can't do that, particularly when we're by ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this also reminds me, I need to get a spare tire.
Yeah, you're still waiting on that spare tire. Yes, ma'am. Oh my gosh. So here we are safe.
Yes.
So
and all
glad you're
worked
all
out
here.
finally, and-
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And
We're
Ramona stayed with you today, right?
yes.
Ramona traveled
And we-
behind her just to make sure that all
did.
came out well, and it
That is
did.
one of the things that when we're on these caravans, I just think is so important. Number one, we all need to take time to figure out whose phone number is attached to what name and face, like
Yeah.
we did today.
Yeah.
And to share on our location on Google Maps,
Yes.
and or if you have an iPhone, I'm willing to share on the Find My app. So it never hurts to have another pair of eyes on you. And that's how I was able to follow her all day, because there were several times I could go faster And so I would go and stop and eat, like at that Indian restaurant in the middle of nowhere. That just fascinates me. And then I would catch up to her, and then I just kind of hung back.
I could only go so fast
Right.
with my trailer, so it was really
Having
nice.
butterflies around, yeah.
Yeah. I still love you guys.
Well, thanks for letting us know about your story, and all's well that ends well. But we've all learned a lot of lessons, I think, from this. So, the lights just came on. Yay! It's party time, guys. We still have some light left. All right, we'll call it quits for now. And thank you. Good night.
Stay safe.
Good night, everybody.